instructions to burn another one, and I'm working from memory, but I think it was 7 or 8 minutes after we knew the first one didn't happen. And of course, we didn't have positive link with a TDRS, and we couldn't get that signal through. And by the time we did get positive link from TDRS, we chose to go to a different orbit instead of send the burn. If Nicole and Mike don't mind, I'll hand over what you would do to them.
Sure. So we have the capability on board to stop the automation and take over manually to fly. There's different levels that we can degrade down to, all the way down to the point where we are manually controlling the firing of thrusters. And so in this case, we could have stopped the RCS thrusters from firing and then entered the burn ourselves and either had the automation or the computer systems execute that burn, or we could have flown that burn manually. As far as coming back home in an orbit that the spacecraft is in now, it's certainly safe. We have the capability to live on board for an extended period of time. And then we would come back nominally. In this case, if for some reason there was still an issue with the automation, we do have that capability to do the deorbit burn and fly and land manually.
Yeah, these are the things that we spend our time training for in simulations. We spend some time on what how it goes when things go right, but we're always looking at what if things go wrong, just so that we can provide that mission assurance and safety for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, good morning. Tom Costello with NBC News. I had two quick questions to drill down on what your, whether you could do a crewed mission. Not having this experience isn't a critical component of the crewed mission, or rather of this unmanned mission. Wasn't it to test your docking capabilities? And can you put a crewed mission together and approach the station without having at least done it once in this automated mode? That's my first question. And my second was, on the satellite link communication failure, I guess I was surprised that you would not have had constant comms with the vehicle the entire time, foreseeing some sort of a glitch or a failure to communicate between satellites, that would not have already been ironed out in advance.
As far as that, the reason the commands weren't going through, we still need to look at that. It very well may be that there's another issue there. We're just assessing what we think the possibility could be early on, but there's a lot of data that we're going to have to go back and look at to see if there was an issue there that we can fix. What was your remind your first? Oh, docking.
Can you approach the station
yeah.
to dock if you've never done it
You bet you
in
can.
this kind of a test mode?
Yeah, remember, the space shuttles never flew autonomously. They never did. So the answer is yes, you can do it. We built the space station with the space shuttles, and every single one of those missions was crewed every time.
Yeah, I think in some cases having a crew on board gives you some better or different enhanced capability for responding to some failures for a docking. So I agree with Mr. Bridenstine. There's absolutely, you could do a mission without having automated docking with the crew.
Yeah, well, that's something we got to look at. We got to look at all the data, come up with, look, remember what we do as an agency. We do really difficult things, and we do it all the time. And yes, we have challenges, but what do? We figure out what those challenges are, we fix them, and we move forward. That's what we do as an agency. It's our history, and it's what we're going to do now, and that's not a problem. We're going to keep doing it.
Joey?
Thanks. Joey Roulette from Reuters. This is for Jim and Jim Chilton. What could you learn from a Starliner staying longer, more than 48 hours in orbit? And a second question, maybe not talking about this particular mission, but this kind of might be repetitive, but would you support a decision to launch crew on Starliner knowing that the spacecraft has not docked yet to the ISS?
Certainly, I'm not ruling it out. Personally, I'm not ruling it out. I'm not saying we're going to do it, but I'm not ruling it out either. Again, remember, when we had space shuttles, every single one of those missions was crewed from day one. The very first time we launched a space shuttle, it had people on board. And the first time that it rendezvoused with an object in space, it had people on board. These are not things that are new